Yash, is creative skill dead? The brutal truth about Gemini Omni versus CapCut. The illusion of editing. Millions of video editors are making a massive structural mistake. They think they are fighting for their jobs against a slightly smarter version of CapCut. They think the fight is simply about who can cut out a silent pause faster or generate cleaner subtitles. It isn't. The battle isn't between two different editing applications. It is a collision between two entirely distinct technical realities. One manipulates existing pixels using deterministic code. The other treats video as a fluid, multimodal latent space, completely regenerating reality based on semantic intent. When Google launched Gemini Omni and simultaneously announced a deep infrastructure partnership with CapCut, they revealed the ultimate destination of the creator economy. Editing is dying. Prompting is the new infrastructure. But if anyone can type a text prompt to achieve $1 million Hollywood aesthetic, what happens to the value of your content? Let's break down the brutal pipeline reality. Section 1. The architectural split. To exploit this technical shift, you have to understand why the tools look so profoundly different under the hood. CapCut is deterministic. When you command it to slice a clip at frame 24, it cuts exactly at frame 24. It operates on coordinate systems, keyframe velocity curves, and rigid programmatic rules. It is precise, predictable, and mathematically binary. Gemini Omni is probabilistic. It doesn't look at an editing timeline. It doesn't view a video as a sequence of fragmented MP4 files. It looks at your video, converts the visual data into tokens, maps it to a massive semantic model, and predicts what the next frame should look like based on its deep training. This is why Gemini can execute transformations that traditional editing software could never dream of achieving through standard software engineering. Section 2. The 4 pillars of generative transformation. Gemini fundamentally breaks the traditional timeline paradigm across 4 main capabilities. Tier 1. Scene transformation over keyframing. In a traditional editor, changing a scene from day to night requires hours of masking, color grading, rotoscoping, and layering stock overlays. Gemini does it in 30 seconds via deep style transfer because it understands the core concept of physics and light reflection. You provide a daylight shot, prompt it to introduce neon night rain, and it recalculates how that new light reflects off the wet surfaces. 2. Radical character consistency. Green screens and complex tracking plates are becoming obsolete. Gemini allows production teams to treat real human footage as an isolated asset that can be fluidly recontextualized into entirely new environments while perfectly preserving the speaker's identity and clothing. 3. Infinite B-roll generation. The ultimate bottleneck of editing informational or educational content is asset sourcing. Teams spend hours hunting for the perfect B-roll clip on stock websites. Gemini Omni treats the history of digital imagery as an on-demand B-roll generator, creating matching visual clips that maintain the lighting, depth, and composition of your original scene. 4. Natural language directives. Instead of clicking through menus to add captions, change framing, adjust speeds, and apply transitions, a creator interacts with the video conversationally. The interface condenses dozens of manual workflow steps into a single descriptive sentence. Section 3. Why multi-prompting fails today. Let's look past the marketing hype. If you open Gemini Omni today and type a massive multi-step structural retention prompt like this, remove all pauses longer than 1 second, add kinetic captions, zoom in during important moments, and make it feel like an Alex Hormozi video, the system will struggle or fail. It may glitch, create strange visual artifacts, or outright refuse to follow the instruction. Why? Because you are asking a semantic model to perform deterministic math. An LLM is brilliant at understanding style, mood, texture, and environmental context. It is historically terrible at counting frames, identifying absolute silence in an audio waveform, and executing exact spatial cuts. It doesn't intuitively know where a precise millisecond begins and ends. It only calculates token probabilities. Section 4. The two-pass production loop. This precise architectural limitation is exactly why Google partnered with CapCut. It wasn't a superficial cross-promotional integration, it was an engineering necessity. The future of high-velocity video production isn't a single magical text box. It is a highly optimized two-pass workflow pipeline. Pass 1 belongs to Gemini. You hand the engine raw, unedited footage. It handles the conceptual high-compute transformation. It modifies the environment, shifts the visual style, generates consistent AI B-roll, and establishes the aesthetic foundation. Pass 2 belongs to the CapCut backend. The freshly transformed footage is passed automatically to a programmatic editor via API. Hard-coded code scans the audio wave, slices out the dead space with frame-perfect precision, applies structural kinetic caption templates, and executes mathematically perfect zoom curves. This combined system marries the infinite creative scale of generative AI with the absolute precision of traditional code. Conclusion: the ultimate bottleneck shifts. Where does this leave creators and editors? When the technical barrier to execution drops to zero, when anyone can type a sentence to make their video look like a high-budget Netflix documentary or a hyper-polished viral short, the style itself becomes instantly commoditized. If everyone can produce a hyper-paced, visually stunning video in 30 seconds, then high production value loses its ability to capture human attention. It becomes the baseline expectation. The ultimate bottleneck of the media landscape is no longer your technical editing skill, your software knowledge, or the size of your post-production team. The bottleneck has shifted entirely to taste, structural architecture, and ruthless curation. The creators who dominate this next era won't be the ones who type the cleverest prompts. They will be the media architects who build the most efficient automated pipelines, filter out the generative noise, and understand exactly how to engineer a real human psychological response.